Hey guys, so I've had a question in the comments saying what is the best defense against the Danish Gambit from Parth, as you can see. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how you can access my library of my Lichess studies, right? This is online on Lichess, they're all public, and you can do a search, just put the search for Ben Hunt, all one word. But I'll also put the link in the video as well. Now, if you browse on here, just to bring you up to date a little bit, we've got a good starting point is this Black Death repertoire. Now, this is what I'm putting together as my black repertoire. So at the moment, I'm just hammering blitz games. I'm hammering, trying to get familiar with what I'm doing. And here you have, if I hide the book moves, against e4 we play e5. Now if you've been following my recent videos you'll know exactly what's going on. The most common move by a long way is knight f3. We play knight c6. If they play the Spanish, we do the Schliemann, right, with Freddy out to f5, right? This is, you could almost call it the Fat Freddy repertoire as well. However, if they play the Italian, we're going to play Freddy to f5, which is the Russo Gambit, and also scores very well. Now, d4 with the Scotch is a little bit tricky because you can play f5, you can, and I'm kind of calling this the Fat Freddy line, but it just doesn't do as well as my preferred one, which is this the Steinitz variation. Does really well, and it really suits my style. So I don't think that the Freddy approach here is quite the way to go. If we have the bishop's opening, guess what? We've got the Calabrese counter Gambit, right? Yeah, slightly better for white, but you know, most openings are slightly better for white. And then we get onto the center game. Now, this is Parth. This is specific to your question. If we play e4, e5, and white decides to play the center game, most likely going for the Danish Gambit, what do we do? Well, if you just browse on here, this is just the overview of the starting point of, you know, basically one signpost. Which direction do we go from these points? You will see that I'm proposing e takes d4, and then when they push the c3 pawn, the best response for black is to ignore the pawn and to push d5. This is called the Sorensen defense. And black, actually, if I open the book here, black scores 50% win rate from this point, white only 44, and 6% are draws. So this is the way to go. This is what you do. Take pawn number 1, ignore pawn number 2, you just hit d5. And this is very common. For example, for people who play like the Scandinavian. Now, I don't want to mess up my study here, but with the Scandinavian, for example, they take blah. The best move again is just to follow up with a pawn. Generally, if you take one pawn in a gambit, abandon your surviving pawn. It's not likely to live long. Now, so if I click back now, you'll also see in this completely free menu, you know, a lot of chess YouTubers will sell courses. I don't want to sell a course. We got all this. Look, this is fun. This is so anti-Danish, right? Anti-Danish, anti-Scotch, and I've put this together from a couple of videos. So this one is, I don't know, did this come maybe from Eric Rosen? I'm not sure. So e4, e5, and then this is played, okay? And we're saying accept the first one, c3, and then we play d5. This is a Sorensen defense. This is what you should do. Basically, from this point, you're not doing too badly. Stockfish has you 0-0. You've already reached equality after move 3. So you can just crack on and play chess from here, if you like. Now, there's a couple of interesting lines that we will see. E takes d5 is the most common here, right? However, we will also look at this. So e takes d5, I think I can force a variation. There we go, yeah. Okay, so e takes d5 is common. and then you can take back with the queen, and then pawn takes, and you bring out your knight, and happy days. You know, you're in an equal position. They bring out their knight, you pin the knight, blah, blah, blah. Now, there is a trap here that you need to watch out for, which is, because it seems like, okay, we've got two attackers on this pawn, right? And the pawn is defended twice by queen and knight. It seems as though you could take the knight and then win the pawn. But you can't, totally losing, because bishop takes knight comes with check, and you can lose your queen. Okay, so don't do that if you go down that line. One thing just to watch out for. And the great thing about this is, with these studies, I'm just going to keep building this stuff up. I'm just keep building it up over time. Bookmark it, you can come back to it. I might do different repertoires at different points in future, but right now I'm having fun doing this. So, anyway, let's rewind just a little bit, because I've got my own approach to this when playing the Danish Gambit as white, okay, that you also need to just be aware of as well. That kind of tries to maintain the spirit of the Danish, because this just buggers it all up and ruins it. Okay, now, for here, if I'm white, so we've looked at pawn takes on d5, which is quite common, right? This, is that common? C takes d4. It's played 6,820 times, but black does much better here with 55% win rate. Wonder why that is, right? So so look, if you are black, let's have a look, right? And I'm building the repertoire here. So this is now a new line. C takes d4. Black does all right then with d takes, by the look of things. Or there's also bishop b4 check. That's quite well. It's only been played 85 times though, but has a good. It's only played 1% of the time. But d takes e4, resolve the tension, and black's already basically pawn up. And the reason is because he is. White has 6 pawns, one of which is an isolated queen pawn. Black, on the other hand, has the full 7 pawns, and they're in 2 pawn islands, whereas white has 3 pawn islands. So it's just already simply better for black. So we don't need to look much further down there now. So that's not great because you can take, right? White's already given up a pawn in the gambit and has really got nothing to show for it. That's the thing. This we've looked at. If they do that now, the line that I'm proposing is queen to b3. And here it's really swung in black's favour. Again, it's 1.6 in black's favour. But I kind of like this, okay? So here, for example, if black brings out the knight, get equality again. Well, yeah, very, very close to equal now. And here, what's best for white? E5. E5 is pretty good, just hitting the knight. That works quite well. C takes d4 has been played only twice and won every time. But, you know, this is still a bit better for black. And then here, if you have Stockfish switched on, then you can say that you can see what does the computer say? The computer says e5. So sometimes you can go with the engine, and sometimes you can go with the history books. Right? It's all good. And now it's only a very, very slight advantage for black. Okay, so knight e4 most commonly played, and then you can go by the computer. Now taking in the centre, and we've got a nice little centre there. I think that looks perfectly playable. Okay, but so if I play this now, what if they take? What if they take here? You can just take again, but it's got black as -2 there. I like this though. I like this. This is the spirit of the Danish, right? And you're reasserting your attack, which is always what you wanted to do anyway. You wanted to play your bishop out to c4 here and focus down on f7. So yeah, there's a few moves from here. Black scores 45. White scores 52 from this point in real terms. However, the engine says black ought to be winning. So basically, it's a case of play on. So my bottom line is, if you're faced with this, take pawn number 1. Okay, they'll offer a second pawn, ignore it and just play that, and then you're in an equal position. You're kind of out of Danish territory, more than likely, and you can just crack on and play chess. And of course, there's nothing to stop anyone from going onto Lichess. As long as you're signed up on Lichess, which is free, you can create your own study. You just go to Learn, Study, and play on. You can create a new study here, right? And look, these are all everyone's studies on here. So if you want to do, are there studies on anti-Danish? I don't know. There you go. And this one's mine. Okay, but there's a Danish Gambit. Danish Gambit accepted, blah, 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 blah. You know, there's so much on here. So much on here. I haven't even looked at any of these. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Black. Look, here's one by Scotty Soul 031. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah? And it's got their notes. It's also got, let's play it through. So this is the Danish Gambit declined Sorensen defense. So let's look at that chapter. Right, so okay, so from this starting point, this is the strongest defense in decline in the Gambit. We create open diagonals. You know, this is really, really good stuff. So if you want to learn it, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm just having fun doing it, and it's good for the channel. But yeah, you know, make yourself at home. And look at this as well. This idea of bringing the queen out. Never thought of that. Never thought of that. You know? And these are great notes from Scotty there. So this is definitely one to check out. Let's have a quick look. Right? Queen out early, never a great idea. Knight f6, blah blah blah, and now like he's saying, danger levels, increase the pressure on the queen. So these are all lines that you can use. This is good stuff, right? So you know, browse away. There's so much information out there on beating pretty much anything you know, how to play against any kind of opening that you like. But basically, that's all you need to remember. You need to remember this position. From there, play the Sorensen, and you should be good. All right, so hope that's useful for you. Thanks for watching. See you later.